After 8 months of SR, yes, I've had wet dreams, but no sexual release while fully conscious. I can without a doubt tell you factually that the female attraction phenomenon is real. I know many others have testified towards it, anecdotal evidence we call this. But if I can add further evidence in case someone does a true study on this one day, then I'm happy to add my 2 cents. It's been crazy. I'm 23 years old. After 30 days, people, both men and women, start treating you differently. After 90 days, girls that you thought you might never have a chance with will try and get you. At my current stage, the quality of women has increased drastically. Well-established young women now approach me for courtship, and I must find ways to let it fizzle out or kindly let them know that I am not interested because of my own reasons. My goodness me, is this a challenge for many of you when you first experience it? It was a challenge for me when I first experienced it, and I will concede that perhaps I entertained this kind of attraction because of my own ego, because of my own gratification, because perhaps not having these kinds of experiences as frequently as I would have liked it when I was in university or when I was in my younger years. But it is yet another test. It is another test of your resolve. And I recognized that I was trying to forego lust. I was trying to prevent my lust in the respects of looking at the pervasive adult material that is there in the online culture, and I was trading it in for another kind of lust. I was trading it in for physical lust. So one of the sentiments that precedes this particular video today, gentlemen, is do not forego lust to entertain another form of it, because you will invariably end up making the same mistake you did when you recognized your life was not going in the direction that you wanted to. Your addiction to pornography will turn into addiction to promiscuity. And there are some religions, especially Christianity, that believe it is better to waste the seed of man in thine own hands than in the belly of a prostitute or whore. And, not saying that these women are all prostitutes and whores, but you understand what I'm saying. There is a sexual exchange there that goes deeper than we realize. I understand some people are motivated by the idea of increased female attraction, which is why I made this post. However, I don't want you to do this to gain your female's approval. If you could stay on this path purely for self-improvement like I did, then you truly see the benefit of this in life. This year, as I've taken this practice more seriously, I've come across men saying that they hate women, that they're energetic vampires who will happily and willingly sap the life force out of you, leaving you lost, confused, de-energized, and weak. I often make the point that it is not just an energetic attack that some of these women will seek to employ against you, but it will be a financial attack. It will be an attack on your attention, on your resolve to your purpose, to your mission, to self-improvement. There is nothing a woman hates more than a man that she cannot control. And a man who has control over himself will always have control over women. And that is not a theory, that's a fact. Where I don't carry any resentment towards women personally, 100% I see where these guys are coming from. But they're looking at it as if women are actually saying, look at that guy working so hard on himself, going hard on his dream. Let me tempt him with sex. Let me get him to release sexually multiple times so I can steal the divine energy, focus, and concentration he's been able to harness. Women don't think rationally this way. They think more emotively in this way, in the respects that they feel the presence of energy brimming within you. They see your focus, they see your drive, and it is magnetic. It has a magnifying and attractive quality. The only analogy I could perhaps give that palettes this a little bit better for yourself is when you might see a celebrity in person. Even if you don't personally enjoy the celebrity, you see the movement of other people towards that celebrity. They almost have like their own gravitational pull, and you can't help but fall in line with the other socially conforming individuals around this particular status and energy that this individual has when they're walking through the streets. They see your power and they want it. They want to depart you from it, or they want to be a part of it. I honestly don't even think that the women of today have this level of consciousness towards something like this. I actually think these men are taking their own personal frustrations out on these women. They've been blessed to know that retaining their seed is the path to a better life, yet they lack the discipline to retain and need someone to blame for their shortcomings. It's almost like self-harming and being mad when somebody else doesn't get hurt when you know full well that they won't. If you're only doing SR for the sake of attracting women, great for you. You've stumbled across one of the best hacks possible. However, I must say, you're only eating the icing on the cake. It's sweet, well decorated in most cases, and probably even tastes good to you. But too much of it will make you sick, and quite frankly, it's unhealthy. I don't just believe it's unhealthy, I believe it's a path that leads you back to where you started, as I prefaced. It replaces another addiction with something else, in my opinion, that could be more serious, and you end up diluting your soul when you mix it with other people's. To the guys doing SR for self-improvement, attaining your goals and aligning yourself with your higher purpose, well done. You not only get to enjoy the icing, but you enjoy the triple layers of red velvet, triple chocolate, and vanilla sponge. We must stay disciplined. I write this to myself as much as anyone else who may need to hear it. If you were like me and spent the years not getting as much attraction as you are now, I completely understand the enjoyment and validation and approval. There are acres of diamonds to be uncovered on this path. Don't just settle for one. What a remarkable way to convey it to myself and to the audience here, brother. There is a wealth out there that you can't conceive of. And I believe the true wealth is just in the day-to-day experience, in the day-to-day being present, in the serendipity and the synchronicity of life, the luck that you attain on this particular journey. And most of you, I would say over 50, 60, 70, maybe 80% of you will never experience because you're too focused on a particular kind of outcome. You're too focused and attached on a particular outcome. And it is the attachment that is preventing you from actualizing the results that you want to see. Ironically enough, it's the men who don't give a fuck about female attraction who get the female attraction. And it is never the men who start this journey for female attraction who get the female attraction. Look, chasing something repels it. Chasing something repels it. A man who is abundant, a man who is very attractive to women is never the individual chasing it. He chases his purpose. He chases self-improvement habits. He reads, he writes, he meditates, he prays to God. I'll say it again. Women hate more than ever a man that they cannot control. And where strong emotions like hate exist, love is not far behind. I'm sure you've heard of the phrase, there's a fine line between love and hate, because that is a man who owns himself entirely. And I want you to own yourselves entirely. And you'll never own yourself entirely if sex owns you, if female attraction owns you, if lust owns you. Own yourself, conquer yourself. That is a man I fear among any others is a man who's conquered himself, not the man who's conquered the world, the man who's conquered himself. That's the man to be feared. We must stay disciplined. In the 48 Laws of Power, tremendous book, it talks about remaining elusive, not just to women, but to everyone. That is my plan, giving them enough to tease the idea of one day having me, but never actually letting them get close enough. I don't do this for validation. My personal reason is that I'm an entrepreneur and I want to maintain a good reputation and character. Shutting girls down harshly won't really do that for me, especially when the men of today are so weak and basically follow whatever they say. One of the first comments is the way that I would like to perhaps conclude the video today is, I see guys in the sub really get it. You actually learned what to do with that energy, whereas most of the cult that some of us may subscribe to is not even aware that it exists. It's the difference between being lost in thoughts and being in the actual experience. Never chase. Never chase. Attract, but never chase. Not theories. Facts. Speak soon.